Hi, Jacq Hackett here with another Friday Thought. Earlier this week I had two meetings back to back with clients. One was an initial briefing meeting about a new project that I have to provide a quote for, and the other was a meeting to plan the agenda for a series of workshops I'm facilitating for another client. And both of them are pretty complex subject matters. So at these types of meetings, it's really critical that I listen, very closely and really need to clarify the requirements and make sure I really understand what the scope is and what the client needs from me, because after those meetings, I have to go away and provide a proposal and quote for the first client and then a very detailed workshop agenda for the second client. So my go-to tech tool to assist me in these types of meetings is my smart pen. And I've mentioned it before, but because I relied on it so heavily this week, I thought I'd mention it again. Now it looks like this. It just looks basically like a fairly simple normal pen. It looks like this, and when you purchase it, it comes with special A4 pads that look pretty much like any other A4 writing pad, but they include pixelated paper that works with the smart pen. So I'm going to tell you why I really like using the smart pen, especially for those meetings. And that's because I don't have to take screeds of detailed notes. Instead, I can actually really focus on listening and engaging in the conversation in those meetings with the client. And I'm confident that the critical information is being recorded, because when you use the smart pen and write on the pixelated paper, it actually records the audio as well. But the real value of it for me is this. I don't want to re-listen to the whole meeting. I really do just want to listen to, particular parts of the meeting. Some parts of the discussion are really critical for me in preparing the quote and the agenda. So when I'm preparing my proposal, for example, and I need to work out the scope of all the stakeholder consultations, I, take my pen and actually tap it on the page at the point where all I've noted down is stakeholder consultations, and the pen will replay the exact conversation that was occurring at that point in the meeting. So it's just great. So I don't have to listen to the whole thing again, but I know that there's some critical information in that 3-minute segment of the meeting. So I tap the pen there, it replays the conversation, I get all the information that I need to prepare my proposal. So I love it. It's a really useful tool, particularly in those briefing meetings where you have to listen and understand, and where taking detailed notes is really going to distract from that. There's a whole lot of other things the smart pen can do, so I encourage you to check it out. And I always want to say, when I give you these kind of tips, I'm not affiliated with them in any way at all. I just love using it. I love the tech tool. I love tech tools in general if they're useful to me, and on my website you can find a tech guide, a free tech guide for solo consultants, and the link to it is in the first comments box. And I actually think it's probably due for updating. So if you've got some useful tech tools and tips that you use as a solo consultant, feel free. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what you use that you find really useful so I can pass it on to other consultants. Have a great Friday.